Tuesday. I'm so glad you are here. Welcome. So, today, for the next 7 ish minutes, I want to get into what to do if you need to do some video. So, whether it's something like this, a little Facebook live on LinkedIn, YouTube, or say you're at an event, we've got some folks we're working with coming up to events, and you just know there's going to be a video interview involved. Like the press will pop by, or maybe you can have a podcast interview or something like that. So, we're going to look at the top ways to make sure your next video appearance is super smooth, stress free, all good. So, how does that sound? All good for you? All right, I want to give you some specifics you can take away. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to mention, and I can speak from experience here, um, super good to memorize your open and your close. Okay, I can remember being at an event and somebody coming in and I thought they were going to just talk with me, right, about a new product we were offering. And instead, they're like, "Oh, hey, and we brought our video crew. So can you tell us about it?" I just, oh my gosh, super nervous. Like, I know the product, I knew the information, I knew who used it, how they used it, what problem it solved, knew all that stuff. But suddenly, when I had to look at a camera, it was so scary. So, one of the first things I learned to do at every event after that was to memorize my open and my close. And I want to suggest that you do that too. And that can be really simple. It might just be one sentence. It could be just as simple as, "Hey, if you're an engineer at a post house and you have this audio problem, I've got something for you today." Or, "Hey, if you're a person over 40 who's looking to be more fit, I've got something for you today." I don't know, whatever your thing is, right? Um, you can definitely just memorize that first sentence, right? And then the closing sentence can really be super similar. You might just also add in a next step that they can do. So it doesn't need to be a hard sell call to action, but something where you're telling them, "Hey, if you want to get my life cycle marketing master plan for yourself, text the word biz to me at 530-203-5703. Or if you want to learn more about this and get your free consult, go here." Right? So just have something where they can get more info or take a next step in working with you as your close. So memorize your open, memorize your close, right? Okay, so that's a couple good things to do. Second thing to do is the middle, right? What are your middle points? And it can just be 2 or 3 points. I'm working with someone right now who's getting a presentation ready, and they just want to tell every single thing. And I so get them because they're super passionate about what they're doing. And so they want to be sure to cram everything into this short period of time. Ah, such, I get it. Like, we want to tell everybody everything. But that said, just need to pick the top 2 or 3 things, right? We can't have a press release that's 4 pages long. We can't have a quick, conversation that is actually 3 hours long, like, it needs to be short. So just pick the top 2 or 3 things, and if you're just not sure, pick the top 2 or 3 things that people ask you about, address that. The top 2 or 3 products or services that you sell, just talk about that, and just limit it to those. And what I used to do, literally, you're gonna laugh so hard, is I would write those 3 things on my hand just so I had a little something, right? You can have a little note card, whatever, and it just needs to be the 3 words of the 3 topics that you have right there as your pointers. So, first thing, memorize your open and close when you're doing some type of video, anything, whether it's an interview or whatever you're doing. And then secondly, have your top 2 or 3 points ready. So you just know exactly what you're going to go to. If you forget one, nobody else knows, right? You've got two, you missed the third one, whatever the thing is, you skipped one, it's all good. But if you have that at least as your go to, you're going to know what to do. Okay. The third thing is check with the person who is doing video with you. Are you going to look at the camera during the interview? I just ask them, "Do you want me to look at the camera or look at you? Do you want me to look at the camera or look off camera?" It's so much easier to look off camera. So for my first interviews, when I got to look off camera, I did such a a much better job. And so if you can choose that, if they say we don't care, you can pick, then pick that, right? And then you can pick a friend and you can just talk with them. Or maybe the interviewer, you can talk with the interviewer and then you can say you're open and then say, okay, so the first thing is, and then your first point, and then the second thing is, and then your second point. And then if you just feel nervous and want to wrap it up, you can skip your third thing and go, all right, so if you want more info about that, blah, 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 blah. Right? So, have that information up front. Are you gonna look into the camera, or are you gonna look off camera at a friend or the interviewer or, a paper plate with a face on it or whatever the thing is, right? So that's something to know as well. And let's see, I guess, a final thing, there's so many things, oh my gosh, and I have a checklist for you. So if you want the checklist, just hit me up in the comments, and it's a PDF and I can just get it over to you. Um, Let's see, a good final thing to wrap up on, oh, yeah, can you pick up? That's one that is so handy. So if you're doing an interview with someone and you're wondering, "Can I pick up?" Just ask them in advance. And so what that means is if you feel like you stumbled or fell or missed a thing or just want to say it over like, "Oh, I can say that better," then you just ask them, "Can I pick up?" And what that means is you'd stop and then start again from that point. You're gonna pick up from that point, and they're gonna edit that bit out, right? And so when you're picking up and also at the start and the end of your video, give the person who's interviewing you and the person doing the video editing a break and, like, have pause, smile, take a moment, so that helps them know where the pickup point is and also where the start of the video is and where the end is. So, so many times I'll be doing an interview with someone and as soon as they finish, they go, or they'll like make a weird face right at the end and you're like trying to edit out that last frame and that stuff. So if you can, and it's hard for me sometimes too, if you can, just take a moment at the end and pause. And same at the beginning. Take a moment at the beginning and pause, right? And that pickup point as well. All right. So those are my tips for you. Memorize your open and close. Know your 2 to 3 points in the middle. Know if you're going to look on camera or off camera, and then pause during at the beginning, end, and at any pickup points. Find out if you can do a pickup, and if so, pause at those. So many more, but hit me up if you want the checklist. And I hope you are having a beautiful day. See you soon. See you next Tuesday, if not sooner.